Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together the Decagon gift box, which is an SVG from Simply Crafty SVGs. So here are the different pieces of this box. Here's an example of a box done at 50%. So you can see these two pieces will be this. So that'll be the bow. Then we have two of these. Oh, sorry about that. This is the top panel, and then we'll have two lid panels. I only have one there. It's misplaced the other one. Normally don't step away while I'm doing it, but so you can see that there's going to be 4 of these Decagon shapes. The hazards of not having a lot of nails. So 2 of them are smaller, so 2 of them are for the box, so that goes with these bigger pieces. And 2 of them are for the lid, so that's for this. And then we have some of these panels for the sides of the box. So that's it. So let's go ahead and put together the actual lid part first. So I'm using American Crafts textured paper. I think this is plum. It's a pretty purple. So we're going to put that aside. We're going to first go ahead and fold all these on the score lines. So normally I kind of do prep one already. But depending on the machine you use, whether you use dash cut lines or Cricut score wheel or score tool, which is kind of hard with boxes. You really have to score it well. So I actually have a kiss cut. I'm still using the Eclipse 2, which as of this video they no longer manufacture or sell. So, but it does like a little cut kiss line. You can do that with a Silhouette too. You just can't do that with a Cricut. Cricut has a score wheel or score tool. So we're going to go ahead and glue this. I had a light that went out. So I have a little bit of adjustment here. We're going to go ahead. I already added glue to this tab. Had a light that went out and I didn't notice. So we're going to go ahead and line this left edge to the right fold of that tab and make sure it's lined up on the top and bottom. And this is really the top because it's going to be the top of the lid. Then we can just fold it over here like this and add glue to the other tab. So this lid doesn't have any panels that go on it. Otherwise I'd say put them on while it's flat. I do have optional panels that if you look in the extra step folder, if for some reason you really want panels, I will have like individual panels that have a little offset in there. So, but the way I'm showing you is without that. So we want to go ahead and we're going to glue one of these panels on the inside like this, and then then we'll cover this like that. So, and I'm going to have the texture side up for the top part, and then the texture side actually up when I'm looking at it this way, but we want to glue the non-texture side if you're using textured paper. So the way we can do this is to add glue to a couple of the tabs. So I'm going to add glue to 5 of the tabs. So you want to flip them up a little bit. So make sure you score them first. Fold them a little bit on the scores just to get them flexible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm flipping up 5. The other 5 I'm going to leave down for now. And you'll see why, because we're going to flip it over and actually get it glued on So I'm going to go ahead, you flip them in like that. And I'm going to do half of them, so I'm going to start and get the first one aligned. So I'm just lining up one of the edges to a section, and then I'm lining it up. So if you can see, and then we're going to slide around and make sure that this edge lines up with the inside tab fold. So we're doing that for all 5, and we're going in order. So you just want to lightly apply pressure against the table, and then you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is not. That one wasn't glued. And then we can add glue to the other 5. And then we'll go ahead and add the panel to cover all these tabs. So we just continue to go around the edge and glue the rest of the tabs this way. So we'll do this. This is the same exact technique we'll use on the bottom box. So we'll probably we'll skip through all the details of the bottom box, but I will show you. I should say the bottom box. The box, this is a lid to the box. So they're all glued on. You can see, just kind of be like that. And then this will go on top with the, I'm going to make sure that the texture side's up. Now because this goes on top too, I'm just going to do it all at once. So I'm just going to go ahead and center this. So this is a box you can use for really any occasion. Let me move that for lighting there. So you could use this for Christmas. Originally I actually designed this for Christmas. You can put the centerpiece on however you like. So with Christmas colors, and that's why this. But I never got it out at Christmas due to an illness, so it happens. And then let's go ahead, and we're not going to put the bow, obviously that would be too bulky, but we might as well put this on the other panel that we have to glue on top of the tabs. And you could put this, you could line this up like that, or you could go offset if you wanted to, but really it was designed to go like this. So I'm just making sure it's centered. We'll do the bow last. And it is nice that you can size this down, so I made it rather large because some people had asked for large boxes. I'm going to continue down here actually. We want to get glue on close to the edge. But anyway, somebody asked for large boxes, and what's nice with large boxes is that they can always be decreased in size. It's not always easy to increase a box size because of mat size and how a design is built. But if I build it large, for the most part it should go down. The only exception is when you have really intricate cuts, or like some of the 3D designs get kind of hard when they get shrunk down because of the elements on it. But like a plain box like this, it's not as bad. So I'm just lining it up. Before I really apply pressure, I'm just going to go around and make sure it's fairly centered. So I'm just going around the edges. In a moment here, once I get it like kind of set, I can just flip it over and apply pressure inside. I like to make sure that it's set. So let's go ahead, and now we'll just kind of apply pressure everywhere inside. Go around the edges, rotate. The biggest thing when you put something on top of the tabs is that sometimes it lifts a little bit. That can happen. So it's looking good. So we're going to go ahead. We might as well just do the bow now. I wasn't going to do the bow. So the way this works is there's two sizes. One's the bottom layer, and it's just going to go like this. So we're going to curl this. So you can use a couple tools. What I like about this stylus that I have is that for little intricate pieces I can use the ends, but in the middle I can use that. You could do it against anything to curl these. So a pen will work. Really, any round tool that is sized appropriately will work for this task. To me, this is a good pen size, at the size it is. When it got like intricate like this, it's more like the end of this. So everybody, you just kind of look around your craft. If you're a crafter, you're going to have things around that work that not necessarily for a specific task. So this is one of them. Because sometimes I grab the takeout chopstick. This is going to be in the middle. I'm going to put it in the middle of the bow. So just an example, that just to leave that there so you can see the miniature version. So you got to do it as long as you need to. So we'll do the big one first. That's the one that's going to be, that might get a little bit wonky. Now you're going to notice that there's one that's bigger. We're going to do the one last. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can go like that and put some wet glue, but you're going to have to hold it if you do wet glue. I decided with this one that I was going to do, even though it might pop up a little bit, is use the glue dots. So I have two sizes. Let me get them. I have glue dots this way. They come on individual sheets, or I also have these, which there's two different sizes. The green are the minis. You can hear me just grabbing for it because I didn't have it ready. So those are the minis, but sometimes it's easier to place them this way because they come off in the individual squares. So I'm going to use the larger one. There's a larger on this one because these are larger. So this is meant to be rolled, by the way, but I use it differently. So I just kind of get it off. So you can, for this, it's just because I have it handy. But I'm going to just take the smaller ones. Make sure you don't do the big one. But I'm using the big glue dots. And I'm just pressing against it. So I don't know if you can see that. Then I'm just going to press it in the middle. So I'm going to continue doing that all the way around. Make sure I'm not doing the big one. So I'm just going to go to the right because I know the big one's to the left there. So again, the ones on the sheet would be easier for this application. I used wet glue on the really small one. And what happens is, if you don't really hold it and let it dry, it gets wet and starts breaking down your paper. So because I'm gluing in the same spot over and over again. So a double-sided adhesive like this seems to work better. I'm not worried about it. I'm trying to line up these little circles. And the reason I'm not worried about it is when I get to this last one, it's going to cover them all. So if you only just wanted to use that one or two, you could actually cut two of these and have bigger ones. That's up to you. Because this is what it's going to look like right now. So you could do two of them and overlap, but I'm doing a big one and a small one. But if you did do them individually, at least this last one kind of fits in that spot. Yeah, this is not meant for that. Oops. Or the glue dot gets on your finger. They're very sticky. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this last one. So that last one kind of is the same size as the back. So you can see you could put it down. It just gets kind of bulky with the glue dots. So just to show you. So I wanted to show you with the glue, the actual glue. Just so you get an idea. I want to give you options because I know some people don't have a whole bunch of this stuff. So again, find the biggest one, which is that one. Don't glue that. Let's go to the right. Let's glue that. So this all has to be curled before you do this. I'm going to put a dot of glue. So if you use the glue method, you really need to not use a lot, and then you'll have to wait until it's dry. So I'm using art glitter glue, which dries fairly quickly. So what I'm going to do, while I'm holding that first one, I'm just going to put a light amount of glue on a couple of the, just all the way, because it'll start getting tacky. I'm actually going to take some of that, put it on that one, and then we'll leave the last one without glue for now. Get that glue off my fingertip. So let's go back to the one that we first put glue on. I'm going to fold that over. So it's way less bulkier, but you need to hold it longer. So just letting you know that you can do that. It's just like a bow method that I decided to try. But it will, if it gets too wet, it'll just pop up. So I'm just kind of squishing down right here. So there's less pressure right there. So the pressure right here at this fold right here is what tries to pull it up. So you can kind of fold it up and back. Like as it gets smaller, it gets harder to curl. I'm just enhancing it a little bit, getting it more full. So you can do that after the fact, as I'm still holding it. Then I got that one that the glue's almost dry, but so you see I'm just kind of folding it up, then holding it. So what you could do is always the last one, do a glue dot, if that's something you want to do. So we'll just do that for the last one. I just want to make sure it didn't pull up on me. Okay, so now, kind of folding that, and fold it down. You want to kind of match it up in the middle. Look something like that. So if you want to go around, you can go ahead and do that. So then we're going to offset it. So again, you can use glue or a glue dot. I would highly recommend like a glue dot or something like that. Again, it can make it bulky. It's you have kind of a little sandwich in there. So I'm going to fold these up a little bit. So I'm just folding it up. And doing the same for the little one. I'll do the same for the little one. It'll just make it easier also for me to glue it. So this would be a good box for most any occasion. You don't need to use the bow, or if you have another bow you prefer, then I would just use that. I'm just gonna glue dot it. Much easier if you use the correct glue dot tool. Those little squares are nice. Okay, so I'm just going to offset it. I want to get it right. Try to center it as best I can. And then I'm just going to apply pressure. Because I have glue dots on the bottom, it kind of wiggles a little bit. So you can always fluff them up again. But there's that. And I'm going to add a little... I'll add this in the middle, but let's go ahead and get this glued on. So I'll use wet glue for this. So it really, the reason I keep on switching is to show you that you can do it with both. The reason this will be a little bit easier once I get it placed. Oops. Kind of get it where I want. And then I can hold it in place and apply pressure on the inside. So I always like to show people different methods if I can. And this is like not the simplest thing I've ever. I just saw this bow type and I thought, why not? Because there's so many different bows out there that you can get from other people. So it's just an option. Now you could add a big, I just happen to have these enamel dots, but you could use something like you could do like little stickles, or you could do a big gemstone or something like that. Or nothing, I mean, but it looks better with something in there. So that's that. So then we'll go ahead and put the bottom one together. So before I do anything, I want to put the panels on. The panels are easier to put on when it's flat. So I'm going to take these bottom. So I'm not going to go through the whole process of putting this together because it's similar to the lid. I'll give you the gist of it and then I'll go ahead and put it together. But let me go ahead and at least fold one of these. And this goes together just like the other one, so well, at least I'll show you how to put that together. So I'll show part of it. But since it's so identical, I think most people could do it without the video. So we want to go ahead, there's little notches right there. See how it's kind of rounded on the bottom? I'm going to go ahead and just center it on each panel. And then after you put those on, we can put the box together. We're just going to go ahead and put this last panel on. So now that we all have all the panels, we're going to go ahead and glue the pieces together like we did the lid. So we're just going to line this up and then line this left edge up to the edge of the tab fold here. Make sure it's lined up top and bottom. And then we can just fold this other side over. Doesn't matter whether it's on the right or left. It'll fold flat. So you can fold it flat. But what also helps is to line it up there, right there. And then we'll just fold this other side over. And I had to just apply a little pressure to get it lined up there to the edge. And then what we'll do is the same thing. We'll go ahead and just finish it off by gluing this on the inside. It was hard to see. So the only difference here, there's no difference in how the lid's done. We're going to glue it to the inside and then go ahead and glue it to the outside. So I'll just go ahead and do it, and then I'll have you watch. Okay, so here we have the finished box. So it's, see the little bow on it, which I didn't center very well. And this just lifts off. And you could add a little bit of, maybe like a little embellishment down there. Maybe some gemstones or enamel dots. It's just a basic box that you could use for, you just have to get it on right. It does fit. But it's a basic box. I didn't want to make it, I have round boxes, but the round boxes, to me, these sometimes are easier to put together. It's just a little bit different than what I have out there. So again, you can make it pretty small. There's the miniature version, or that's only 50%, believe it or not, 50%. So you can resize it, and there are some instructions on my website for some of the popular software out there to resize. And if you do like this project, or my projects in general, I always enjoy, or appreciate, I should say, a thumbs up on our video, and or subscribe. And if you do, share it with your other crafty friends too. And I thank you so much for watching, and until next time.